In today's Health Alert, new dietary guidelines have been released by the federal government. Updated every 5 years, they emphasize more protein in whole foods while reducing added sugars and highly processed foods. Our chief health editor, Dr. Partha Nandi, joins us now with details tonight. And Dr. Nandi, what should viewers know about these new guidelines?
Yeah, I like a lot of this, but I'll start with saying that officials that they released a new version of the food pyramid, Glenda, and it flips it upside down from the old version with protein, dairy, healthy fats, and fruits and vegetables at the top, and whole grains at the bottom. So it's a little flip from what we used to recommend. So how much protein is recommended? Previously adults were advised to get zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now the recommendation is 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. That's a big jump. Let's say if it's a 150-pound person, that's an increase from roughly 54 grams a day to between 82 and 109. So a big jump. The guidelines also call for limiting added sugar, saying this, that no amount is considered a part of the healthy diet. I like that. They suggest keeping it very low, ideally no more than 2 teaspoons a day, per meal rather. That's important since the CDC found this, that most Americans consume about 17 teaspoons a day. That's a lot. And when it comes to highly processed foods, the guidelines recommend avoiding and quote, packaged, prepared, ready to eat, or other foods that are salty or sweet, like chips, cookies, and candy that have added sugars and sodium. Instead, focus on nutrient dense foods, cook more at home, and choose healthier options when eating out. All that makes sense to me. Also, they suggest choosing whole food sources of saturated fat, like avocados, whole fat dairy or meat, while keeping saturated fat to no more than 10% of daily calories. They recommend 2 to 4 servings of fiber a day. And for alcohol, limits have been removed. That's a big one. Now the advice is simply to quote unquote consume less alcohol for better health.
All right, Doc. Well, you like it. I love it. Any concerns about the new recommendations?
Yeah, it's not all clear, right? So there's some stuff there that's a little interesting. So the guidelines say that when adding fats to meals, prioritize oils with essential fatty acids like olive oil, which is healthy. But other options include butter and beef tallow, which previous guidelines have advised to really avoid. American Heart Association also says more research is needed on how much protein people should be eating and which sources are the healthiest. For now, the American Heart Association is recommending focusing on plant-based protein, seafood, and lean meats, and limiting high-fat animal products like red meat, butter, lard, and tallow. I mean, that's where I'm a little concerned. And that's because, we know that this is linked to cardiovascular risk, increased cardiovascular risk. On the plus side, like I said, I like the eat real food message. We've been talking about this for years here on WXYZ. I've always believed that food is medicine. When you eat foods that look close to where it came from, the earth, a plant, or the sea, you're actually giving your body the nutrients it needs to work better. That can help lower the risk of chronic disease like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. So I think that there's some work to be done here, but overall, telling people not to eat processed foods, limiting added sugar, all that's good stuff. And I think it'll lead to better health for all of us.
All right, great takeaway, Dr. Nandi. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure.
If you have a question for the good doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandi at askdrnandi.com, or send it to us on Facebook. We'll get it right to him.